I just hit live stream. I'm doing it right now.
I'm trying to say he's probably busy doing that instead of getting on YouTube and here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the DS Radio Shop. So, on the bench today is something very unique. I bought these yesterday, and I have an idea of what I want to try to experiment with. Don't know how well it's going to come out, but I thought about this for a while, and last evening, and I figure it's going to work because it's just a standard shell that I could use to utilize a lot of what I want to do. However, let me get some of this stuff out of the way, because this is obviously not working to my advantage at the moment. So give me a second here to do this. You guys are kind of wondering, like, what does he have here? Well, what I've got, here we go. Let me switch this on over. Okay. What I have here is a open shell, if you will. Move the camera like this now. Up, then down. Okay, so what we're doing here is it's going to be an experiment. I just can't help myself. I saw this last night, talking with the guys on the radio, and I thought, you know what? I have an idea. I'm full of ideas. What exactly is all of this, right? Well, this is a body shell to what they call a stand, if you will. Let me try to move the camera around here a touch. Give me a moment here and try to work with what I can. It's oversized. It's 3 foot tall, so give me a chance, guys. Bear with me here. So that is the shell in which what we've got. Okay. Now, it's a oversized Christmas bulb, if you will. Here is the bulb itself. Let me put this down for a moment. That is the bulb itself. Oversized Christmas bulb. Look at the size of that bulb. This whole thing stands up 3 feet tall. I'm going to put together. So, what am I going to do?
That thing's massive.
It is. What am I gonna do? What am I up to? Well, I'm thinking, because I'm very stealthy when it comes to building unique things, such as the lamp indoor J-pole antenna that I created myself and had sold 327 of those a while ago. So I thought, why not take this and create a indoor stealthy looking VHF UHF antenna, if you will, right? So we're gonna take and do exactly that. Now let's see what we can come up with. I don't know what we're gonna come up with actually, but we're gonna try to come up with something. So let me get a couple things out of the way. Get the iron turned on. And I got to think about this carefully because I need a couple antennas here. I need to have some sockets. Let me see what we got going on here. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. Not sure if I want to use. Do I want to go that way or don't I? I really want to put an SMA, but not quite going to work just yet. So let me think about this for a moment, because I've got my pile of connectors here. So I'm debating if I want to use a SO239. I might want to use that. I don't know. So maybe. Yeah, I got to think about this. How I want to try to orchestrate, what connector I want to use. This whole unit runs on 4.5 volts to light up the bulb. It's pretty nice. Give me a second here to really concentrate on this. I wonder, can I utilize a wire? Well,
Absolutely, Michael.
so I don't know.
I think this could be really cool.
I'm coming up with so many ideas,
But it could be really cool.
and right now I'm starting to think I want this to be stealthy. However,
Hey, good morning, guys.
what I might do is actually put a BNC connector on, and I can utilize a telescopic whip antenna to adjust for my VHF, UHF. Now let me measure this because I believe this is obviously longer than 19.25 inches. However, if this will work the way I want, I can cut this down to size by just adjusting the whip. So let's try this for a second. So if we did that,
Don't have like a dual bander antenna to do that?
okay. So this is adjustable, and now I've got it down to where it's 19.25 inches. So I think what I might do is I've got two of these. I got the green one and I got a red one I bought. So I'm thinking today we'll just kind of do something quick and simple, because what I want to do is actually take a wire, and I'm going to take a wire. I'm going to wrap it once on the inside. So I was going to take and wrap a wire down inside here, come across. So take one wire, come across, and then just kind of come straight up this rib to finish up my measurement. And that would put me where I needed to be for my 19.25 inch. If I start over here with a connector on the bottom, and then I have, so your input comes in from here, the coax goes this side to here, come across about 6 inches or so, 7 inches, then come on up the rest of the way, and just tack that down with just a random wire. And so now you got yourself an indoor stealth looking antenna with a little SO239 or SMA on the outside of the unit, which would be down in here. You can put one here, you can put one right there. So I mean, this is where the power switch is to turn the light bulb on and off, right here. So what I might do is beside it, I mean, you know what, that's about the size I need to put the flange on here, but I'm not going to disturb this. I want this to work this way it was designed to do. But I could take and put a connector down here and then run that on up through with the wire. Like I said, go around the body of it and then come up the rib. So you can put a random wire and hide it, or I could put a BNC connector, not here, but maybe, well, you know what we could do? It's this handle. So the handle right here, I could put a BNC connector somehow inside here, take this apart, put the BNC connector here, run the wire down through. Let's see, how can we do this? I gotta think for a second. Yeah, so if we put a BNC connector here, we run the wire all the way down, and over, I can still mount my coax going in off to the side down here. So let me put the camera aside for a second. I think I just might do that. So we put the BNC in the top and bring it down, to bring the wire down the inside and over. We can still mount the connector here. Plug your coax into this. That's going to feed up to the top of the handle here with the BNC, and then we can take the BNC antenna and just throw, put that ring in place here and adjust the antenna width to my desired frequency, and we should be good. That would work great. Now, is it stealthy in a way? Yes, but will you see the antenna? Yes, you will. But I was going to do the wire on the inside, just hide it completely, and just put the connector down below. That's what I really wanted to do, and I could, but I think I'm going to use a telescopic whip because I kind of like this idea, and that makes it universal as well. So let's take, okay, when we start drilling, you can't change it. That's it. When you got a hole, you can't put it back. When it's in, it's in. So let's take a look here and see. I'm going to want to go from the inside out so we know that it's centered. And so I think what I want to do is let's set this down here for a moment. See you, buddy. Love you. Hope you feel better. Try to get the camera, you guys can see what's happening. So I'm thinking, drill a hole down through here. The reason why I want to use this side because that's where the battery compartment is going to be. I kind of want to put all the electronics down inside here, so I have a shell. And the shell is going to give me the opportunity to kind of close this up and not have to worry about wires being stretched. So that's what we're going to do. And now this guy here just kind of comes off as a handle. This is pretty straightforward, really. So let me put him out of the way over here for a second. I think what we're going to do is got some screws in here. 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. So feeding the wire is not going to be a big deal. It's the BNC connector. That's going to be something because I got to thread it down. See, so what we're going to do is take these screws out and we can put it all back together afterwards. So we're going to run with the BNC for today, and then I'll do the other one with a wire on the inside. That's what we're going to do today. So, because it's kind of a quick and easy, and I can get it on the air and utilize it like now. So let's do this so it's kind of a quickie video in a sense, and then I can get a little bit more creative and stealthy with this as I go with it. So you can do all kinds of different things with this type of kits, you know. So just different things, you know. You gotta have a creative mind. You gotta be able to explore new ideas. And that will also improve your troubleshooting skills on many things because you can see things differently. You can have more clarity as to what you got going on, and you can do different things to improve something if you don't have a part, but you got a couple other parts that might work. You know, these are just different strategies of life, really. You know, so hello, John, Boxcar, William, how you guys doing? We got Ryan, Michael, James. And I gotta scroll up this page here for a second. Looks like we got Steve, how are you? Leadfoot, how are you? Matt, how are you? I thought I'd kick off my morning, do something creative for you guys. It's still electronical based, but it's not a radio, but it will be an antenna. What I would like to do, it's not going to be today, because like I said, this is going to take some time to really plan, but you can make these lights flash your voice if it's on AM with a small signal going in. You can also do it with FM as to just have it turn on and off because frequency modulation won't amplify. So here's your your housing is separated now. See, so what we're going to do is take the upper section, and we gotta knock these screws out. Okay. $25 3-foot tall Christmas lamp decoration for your floor, and it's still going to do what it's supposed to, but I'm going to make it a little bit more interesting as an indoor VHF UHF antenna. Why? Well, because one is Christmas decoration, it's big enough, and why not? Really is the question, because people need to have something they can use for HOA. You HOA people, I'm telling you, first of all, you shouldn't even be in a position like that at all. To me, it's communism, okay? If you got the chance to get the hell out of there, do it, because HOA it's a joke. It really is. It's a sick, just, you got a bunch of Karens running around. It's disgusting. I don't have that problem. But this will give you ideas to help maybe, still find ways where you can enjoy the hobby and not be told what to do. There's 3 people in my life who tell me what to do. Mom, Dad, and God. If you're not on that list, you don't tell me what to do. There's no communism in my world. Nobody tells me what to do. I live my life the way I want. And if nobody likes that, then don't come around. Because that's just the way it is. God gave life, not communism. So for the ones who are stuck in HOA and you can't go nowhere else and this, that, and the other, and you got to deal with those Karens, those stupid Karens that want to run around and be ignorant as hell, these are ways you can develop a way to have an antenna, and they'll leave you alone because they won't see it. You can do it out of bird houses, you can do it out of decorations, you can do all kinds of other stuff. You can do a lot of different things. So you can put your mind to it. That's all. I mean, remember, VHF antenna, quarter wave, is 19 1/4 inches. Real simple, right?
And you forgot one for your wife.
And you know how many wives? I don't have to worry about this. I own my house. I do what I want. But you know how many wives? And no disrespect when I say this, ladies. Okay, so don't get mad. But you know how many wives tell their husbands, "No, you don't need this. Stop wasting money." But yet they want you to buy money on shoes and clothing, etc. All their lingerie and blah blah blah. But when it comes to where, hey, I need this tool. No, you don't need that. But hey, by the way, are we gonna go out to dinner? I need a new pair of shoes. It's not always like that, but to an extent, right? So, but a lot of wives would love to have this kind of decoration, and it's not gonna bother them when the husband can have one of his own as well, and it serves the purpose. You got a nice decorative light, a floor model, but then you got little antenna jack in the back that you can utilize at the same time as your antenna and put it right by your window. It looks good, nobody sees it, and you have fun. Here you go, boom, done. And if you have yard decorations, you want to tuck on the air a little bit, but you can't put an outdoor antenna because HOA, here you go. Your condos, you got landlords that don't want antennas on the roof. These are different ways you can create what you want and make things happen, guys. And that's what I do. I'm not a CB shop. I am a radio repair shop, professional radio repair shop, but I also come up with ideas as such like this. And there's a reason why I do that, because my mind is always going, and we always try to help people get different ideas. So let me find my BNC collection here, because I gotta get my BNC connector. Okay. So what we have here is a simple BNC type connector. That's it. Okay? BNC type connector.
There you go.
Alright? And that's what we're going to put in, which gives me lots of room to set right there on the handle.
Yeah, I just got up myself.
And then the antenna will mount right to here as such.
I am officially a GMSR operator. Congratulations.
It's not GMS or GMRS, but congratulations.
Okay. I relate to that very cynicism.
I'm just picking on you, Brandon.
I've been up all night. My girlfriend's mother was rushed to the hospital last night. it's congestive heart failure anyway, but you know, things aren't looking too promising right now.
So let's center this
great.
out.
And her
See.
pulse ox was down around 65.
About 2.5, so we gotta go 1.25 inches.
It's been a long night for me.
Well, thoughts and prayers over here, buddy. Hope everything turns out okay.
1.25 inches.
I appreciate it.
Wait, no, that's not right. 2.25 should be 1.125. Sorry. Oops. Put that back here. 1.125
Hey, Stu, would there be any advantage to making two of these and then co-facing it as two antennas like on a tractor trailer?
Co-phasing them together would be okay. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, as far as a benefit out of it, will you get anything further out of it? Probably not. Other than you might get better range on one side if it's a bigger tractor or something's in the way between the two bulbs. You could do it that way, but I guess I would not co-phase these, no. Now, a beam, if you want to make it a beam, then you got to put something in between to keep it conductive. I would do that.
Sign is WSGT470. Pretty easy number to remember.
Let's see, 1 inch, so we'll call it a half. See here.
Yeah, that's a nice call sign.
Okay, so we marked our hole where we want to drill.
William Sam George 470.
Okay, now we got to find a drill bit
Free with rhythm.
that will work
Call sign.
in this application.
Yeah, now you can go to
In fact, you know what I want to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
and sign up on that. That's all free. And you'll be able to see all the repeaters in your area. Yeah. Are listed.
All right.
And with that, I'll be listening. I'm going to get my first cup of coffee for the morning.
Stepper. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use a stepper instead of a drill bit, and I'll show you why here in a second. Give me a moment to grab a stepper. Let's see if this is going to be. The beauty and the fun of different things, I tell you what. Yeah, we could do that, but I don't really want to. So we're going to go this route. So it looks like ½ inch. Well, let's validate that. Let's take a look, shall we? Looks like 5/16. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a stepper. These are great tools to use when drilling. They leave a good clean hole, and you can step down every time you want to go instead of having to go, take a drill bit, put it in, take another drill bit, put it in, another drill bit, put it in, and bore it out. You can utilize one of these step drills. These are great to use. So let's take a look at this here and see. And we'll give her a go. start with that. See where it goes. So you go nice and slow, because when you start using these step drills, man, they go quick. They go super quick. And if you get the hole too big, well, you can't change it. And that's it. Now you got to consider, scrap if you can't get it to where you want it to be. You don't want to do that. So let's take a look here and see how we did. Look at that. That's perfect. Nice. So we were able to obtain this first go around. In fact, I'm going to leave that back in here because I still got to do the SO239 at the base of it. So this one here, we're going to put our BNC adapter right there, our connector. Okay. And let's put the clip back on. Get this thing mounted. Just a little fun day today. I got a lot of work to do, which I will do, but I gotta have fun too. I mean, you guys gotta be patient with me. I got different things I want to do, and it is Christmas time, and I just figured this would be a good opportunity to make something Christmassy for everybody who'd like to be able to do something different in their home with whatever things they may have. Now, where did I buy these bulbs? I bought this over at Target, or not Target, I'm sorry, Home Depot. So if you want to go to a Home Depot, they're like $25 a bulb for these deals here. So
Since this thing is plastic, how are you doing the shield to ground?
from connector to connector, so it follows through the coax. Like this. So what Michael was just asking me is a very important question. How are you going to get your shield? Because it's plastic housing, right? We're not using the housing for that. We're using them as just as a housing. So what we're going to do is the coax cable we're going to use, or wire if you will, is going to go from here. You got your center conductor and you got your ground. Okay? When I go to put my SO239 in the base of this unit down in here, that piece of wire is going to go from point A to point B. Now you've got your ground to ground, center to center. That's what we're going to do. And it'll be completed circuit through the radio. That's how we're going to set this up. Let me put the BNC connectors away because we don't need any more of those. This will be a good experiment project for everybody. Now, put this away. Don't need him. Give me a second here. I got one to try. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to mount the other connector, and then I'm going to get a piece of coax and put that from point A to point B. I'm going to try to find a way to see how this is going to go here. Let me think about this for a moment. This. That. Little engineering going on here. Just give me a moment, guys. So he's going to come down like this. Go right over to here. So what does that do for me? Let's take a look and see. Looks like you're all open, right? So if it is, let me take this back out. If that is the case, then this has to be more of a thin wall too. That's okay. So we're gonna have to go down. Yeah, I don't know if I like that idea. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we can do it this way. Okay. So what we're going to do is the handle's going to be on this side. Where's my on and off switch? That's over here. So we can actually mount you. Actually, I can put that right in the rib instead of the base, which might be okay. Or I can go right below the base. Can I do that? Sure can. Okay, so we're going to go right below the base. That's what we're going to do. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put the connector right down through here. Kind of try to keep that in uniform. I really don't want to put it up here. You don't want that to look kind of gaudy. You know, if you're going to do a good job, do it right the first time. So we're going to put it right down here so it's kind of in uniform, so to speak, right? From your power switch to the bulb to where my connector is going to be. And that gives me a short feed point to where when the wire comes down and over and attach. Okay, which we're going to use. I'm going to use RG8X coax. That's what I'm going to use to keep that more shielded. Don't have to. You can run random wire, but I'm going to keep it shielded just because I want to control the SWR a little bit better due to being plastic housing. We're going to keep that RF within the coax. So we're going to use this position here, and we're going to go. Let's see. Like this. Oh, I don't know. Goodness gracious. I don't know. Let me get a pen. I'm thinking. Let's see what we got here. We have a 1.5 inches. Well, 1.5 inches, we all know would be 3/4, no? So we're going to go 3/4. Oh, wait. Okay, right to there. And then we're going to take this guy, center him up, which would be, okay, 1.5 inches, 3/4. Okay, so we're going to drill our hole right to there. That's what we're going to do. Alright, let's have a little fun, guys. Now we know we're going to use a SO239 connector. I wanted to go SMA, but I don't have, well, you know, see, there's so many ideas to improve this from the get-go. Instead of making 50 of them, we'll say, right? You could put an SMA barrel, a bolt connector in there, and you could use a small SMA cable to thread on it, and then come up to the BNC and solder it down. And you know what? I think I just might go. I kind of like that idea better. I really do. Now the question is, do I have any BNC cable with ends on it? I just need an end on one side. So now I gotta try to see about that first before we get too involved, because if I don't, then I'll go with the SO239. Give me a second to do a little research here and see what I've got, what I don't got. I want this completed today, if possible. So, you're not it. What is this guy? Hey, look at that. I think I do, guys. My pile of goodies, I do believe, no? Okay. Oh, that's a B and C. Nope, you're not what I want. I know I've got some, just give me a second. I got all kinds of stuff. What radio shop does not have all kinds of stuff? You gotta have stuff. Stuff is what makes our shop happy. Is stuff. So, okay, this is not going to be long enough. So I got a couple different things I can do here if I'm looking at these correctly. Give me a second. I don't think you're long enough. Yeah, I don't think so. Let me take a look. I think we're gonna go with the SMA. I really do like that idea. So, yeah, I believe so. Give me a second here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to love this. So we're not going to use the SO239. I've made a final decision. It will be SMA because it's going to be a little bit more stealthy, more controllable, and this is just the way it's going to be. So what we can do is this. We can take this here connector like so. Oh, if I can hear you. Okay, here's my bolt connector. If I put him here, this cable is going to go on the inside. So you're going to have an SMA cable coming out to your HT. This cable should be long enough to go here and back up to my BNC. And of course, I would cut the end over here, which I hate to waste wire, but I got to shorten it down anyway. But I would cut the end and solder my signal, my shield right to that connector. You see, so it's going to kind of go like this, so to speak. And I think we're going to go that route. In fact, I know we are, because I think it's going to be a lot more beneficial. So let me see if maybe, because this I don't think is going to work. I think this is going to be too short because of the arm. Yeah, that's not even long to go through the arm. So for the arm bag handle. So we're going to utilize something different here. So okay, so I've got like the heavier duty ones, longer ones. You can buy these all over the place. SMA to SMA. But we're not going to go that route. We're going to go a different way to utilize. Now, the other thing we could do is, so I don't have to cut wire. Well, I'm set up to cut wire anyways, I suppose. If you get the proper length, which I don't have one here at the moment, I don't think I do. You have SMA to BNC. So what we could do is I can put a BNC connector here as well, and you can run a BNC connector onto that, which means now I can put a bulk. It's got to be a bulk BNC. Let me tell you what I mean with that, if I could. Okay, so right here is your bulk connector. Okay, so these are just, oh my God, my head is spinning like 1,000 miles an hour with all these ideas, trying to perfect it the first time around. So that's all part of engineering. So now we have a bulk connector, right? So we can use that bulk connector like this, and now we can utilize a BNC out, right? But we can also put a BNC, I mean with the SMA, we can run that cable up to the SMA, screw that right on in.
How much it, Mr. Lightfall?
Oh, wait, I went the wrong way with this. I'm sorry. I went the wrong way with this. Hold on. Sorry. No. This is the SMA. Yeah, that's the bulk connector SMA. So the SMA is going to plug in this way. And the bulk connector for BNC is going to go into the handle. So we can actually unthread him and put this here. Now we can kind of just get in there and clip it. So that stays inside the handle as so. Like this. Okay? So we can put our bulk connector here and go that route to where it would be better. And I think I'm going to, then I don't have to cut wires. I can just run the wire down, plug and be done. Right? I like that idea. You guys like the idea? Yeah, you do. I know you do. So let's do this, because I really don't want to guess I should have thought about that a little bit differently because we could have just went with SMA both ends as well. Plug. I didn't think about that. I already got a BNC hole into the handle. So you can just go with SMA, a bulk and a bulk, plug, be done. That would be the better way to go, really. But we're going to do it this way. Just give me a second to really think about what I want to do. Okay, so... I know I gotta have shorter ones. I know I do. I've got some shorter ones. Give me a second here.
About a piece of 1/4 inch plate steel on the bottom of that, and now you got your outside. It'll hold it down in the wind.
So apparently I don't have a shorter one. What a bummer. Okay, so it is what it is. All right. Yeah. Yepers, that's what it is. Son of a gun. Okay.
Can't imagine you have that much wind in the house. It's going to be an indoor kind of system.
Yeah. So, what I should have done, and I did not do,
Thinking about ways to weatherproof this so you can put it out with your Christmas decorations on the front porch.
well, Michael, this is indoor-outdoor use. On the box, the instructions, it does say indoor-outdoor use. I'd just be afraid of the wind blowing it over. That's my concern. But it is indoor-outdoor. So, what we should have done, instead of using B and C, I was thinking of something different in the beginning. Like I said, we already drilled the hole, so I'd have to take the handle off this other one inside and utilize it, or just redo it. I got 2 of these anyway. But what I should have done was use a bulk SMA on both is what I should have done. And then all you gotta do is just take your SMA wire, measure the length you need, screw it on, it's done. Take you longer to, unscrew like 20 screws. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, plus another 10, yeah, it's like 22 screws than it is to just drill 2 holes and pop. So I would recommend, if you guys want to try this at home as a project, go to your Home Depot, buy a lamp, okay, they're $25. Order yourself a bulk head SMA, and then get the proper length of wire, which I'll measure here in a moment to let you know, and I'll put that in the description, kind of help you out. And you could be able to just kind of plug it in a bulk, put it together, and be done with it. Now, the other downfall about that is you can't use a BNC antenna. You got to use a SMA adapter and plug that into something. So you're going to be utilizing a wire as the antenna is what you're going to do. And this wire, I do believe, give me a second. I want to use the BNC telescopic antenna. That's why I was going with the BNC. But if you want to use just this wire as an antenna, you got to cut it down to size because it's 24 inches long. It's 2 foot cable. So if it's 2 foot, you need 19 1/4 inches. So you'd have to find yourself like a 20-inch cable, or like an 18-inch cable. Will get you close, but you really need 19 1/4. So we're going to stick with the BNC. Now that I'm seeing this a little bit differently now, yeah, we're going to stick with the BNC. I'm not going to go with the other way. What I am going to do is I will use the bulk, though, SMA for the bottom, because it's a lot easier to just plug one of these from your HT to here. Just have the other end, provided what end you have on your HT. So I may just do that, and then I can just plug my HT into this, be done with any length of cable that I want. So I'm going to utilize this for that reason, because your HTs are all HMA. SMA. I'm going to do it with this one. Now, if you want to use a SO239 and run regular coax, across your floor instead of having a smaller cable like this. You know, you can get these 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet, whatever. If you don't want a lighter coax, you're only running 4 watts. I mean, you're only running HT. You can do it that way, or still put the SO239. So I got to think about which way I want to go now. Do I want to run it with a coax, or do I want to run it with just a longer cable such as this? And I've got, see, I've got one right here actually. That is probably, he's not quite as long, I suppose. No, he's only like a 2-foot cable. Okay, so then you got to work either. Okay. So, I suppose I got to think about that now, don't I? Alrighty. Well, how do I want to do this? Do I still want to go with the bulk? You already got a BNC cable with a cut end. We can solder into the BNC. We can still go that route if we wanted, I suppose. Where are you? Let's see, if I went this route, and I just want to stick with BNC all the way around, we could do that. Come on down around like so. This way. You can go what? What are you going to do? You're going to go like, you go like this. No. Come on. What the hell? You're going to go like this. What you going to do? That's what you're going to do. Yep. Okay, exactly what you're going to do. Then you come across this way on the inside. So I can cut this down to size. Okay, so let's go with that, I suppose. I'm gonna run with a BNC to BNC is what I'm going to do today, because I don't have a whole lot of what I need here at the moment. I really want to try to perfect this. It depends on what you're going to connect and how you want to connect it. So this may vary. I gave you a bunch of ideas. You're going to kind of try to play a little bit as you go. However, I'm going to go with a bulk BNC connector here, so I can kind of plug and play at the bottom on the inside and just have the solder one side up. So let's go that route for me today, and you guys can kind of vary what you wish with your ideas. And we can kind of compare apples to apples, whatever you want to do. Give me one. I'll be right back.
if I make one, I'm going to incorporate a trail camera inside.
All right, so yeah, let me get. I gotta run down to the basement for a minute and grab a couple things. I'll be right back, guys. Hang on 1 second.
That's a good idea. And I got a surveillance cameras all around my house, so I have it here right next to me, but with a 32-inch monitor. Then while I'm out and about, I have it on my phone.
Yeah, I got the same thing. But then if I put it down by the end of the driveway, this would be funny. And then when the carrots come by, I can get the picture will come to my cell phone. Then I'll put a speaker in there and yell at them. You can see the golf cart rolling up the driveway before it gets me. Gotta hit the street. Somebody's chewing on my toe. You're pretty kinky there, Rick. Is that your war room, Jim?
Yeah, it's my war room. I only used to have it on a 17-inch monitor, but Buddy says you gotta squint to see everything. He goes, you gotta put down a big monitor, like a 32. I said, yeah, might as well. So I went to Walmart and they had them on special, so I picked it up.
You slick.
Yep, that's a Lorix PoE, and I tell you what, I can zoom in, and I can make out a license plate going up and down the street and everything.
Alright, I was hoping to come up with a different cable. I guess not. So we're going to stick with the bulk BNC. Okay, so we need to measure, what is our bulk BNC? Well, it looks like here, it's about a half. So we're going to kind of put this in place like so. See if we can do a good job. Well, before I do that, because remember, when you drill, you can't change it. So let me see, can I get in there? Yes, I can. Alright, so we can get in here and actually tighten this down. Okay. Hate to drill and find out I can't even get inside. So here we go. Stop right there. Let's check it. How do we do? Okay, we got a little bit more to go. Perfect. Okay. So now we've got our bulk connector put in. We're going to fasten him down. I said you can make a lot of fun with projects like this, you know. Just got to put your mind to it, that's all. Think outside the box, right, peoples? No doubt. How you doing, Rick?
And the girlfriend's asking, when's breakfast? I said, give me a moment, I'll make it.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 hours later. Yeah, I gotta eat here in another 20 minutes or so. I just took my pills, so yeah, I gotta get it made. I guess we're gonna have pancakes, eggs, and corned beef hash.
Well, he got all kinds of breakfast. Okay. Now that he's done, so we got our bolt connector installed at the base of it here. That's your bolt connector. Here's your power switch for the light. Here's your bolt connector for the antenna. That's a BNC bulk. On the inside, there's your battery compartment.
Yes, it's every morning here. Eggs, bacon.
There's your power switch for the light.
Pancakes.
And there's your bulk BNC connector down below. Okay? And what they're using, I thought they were going to actually have a bulb. These are actually an LED, which works out nicely. But I'm not going to tap into that, so we're going to make a flash or do it. I just want to utilize this for the stealth antenna for the moment. We can always improve it later. So now we got that done, right? So we're going to take our BNC cable. We're going to connect that on the inside. Just like this. See how that goes in? Okay? It's nice and easy. And then we're going to run this up through the housing of this unit here. Now, to calculate my length, I've got to put this back. And I've got to see what I want to do here. I want to kind of go like this, give it a little bit of relief on the inside. And kind of go like that. So it looks like we're going to cut back a little bit here. We don't need all this cable. Now, I'm going to be very careful and try to resplice this. see. Okay, now I want you to take the shield and wrap him up. Okay. These are fun projects. Like I say, it's something to do. And if you have a, a kid in your family who's got a license or wants to maybe get one, and you have one or whatever, this would be a good family opportunity. Kind of bond with your family, and your child too. So it's a win-win. You can't go wrong, guys. Be creative. Just like that. Don't need him. Let me see. I wonder if I can do something here. Give me a moment. I'm just going to get a different view for you guys. So give me a second. There. Okay. So now you got kind of an idea of what's happening on all views, so to speak. I'm trying to do the best I can to give you what I can with what's happening here. So we'll do our very best. Good morning, 456. How you doing, Richard? Now, we can go ahead and put this in our handle. We're going to go ahead and get this center down. So like I said, this is kind of a one-time thing. If I had already planned this all out completely, we would have already had this thing done. But it's so many ideas you can do. I'm just kind of playing as I go. Because like I said, it's the first time playing with one of these. And I saw it yesterday. I kept thinking about it last night, and talking with the guys on the radio. I was like, you know what? I got an idea, and I'm going to do it. So we're just kind of fooling around, some thoughts, and let's see how it goes, right? Okay. I mean, it is the holidays, Families spend more time together. Should, anyways. And this gives people a chance to kind of, let's play a little bit. Now, am I going to go into full production and buy a bunch of these things? No. Could I do that? Sure. but then I have to get $60 a piece plus shipping. I'm not going to do that. You guys can do it yourself. Have a little fun. That's what it's all about. All right? Have a little fun. So we're going to take this here. Just kind of, you could glue it down, but I'm not a glue person. So we're going to kind of let it float in here because it's not going to go nowhere anyways. And so we're going to kind of put this together as such, like this. And let's see how this comes out, which I think we've got just a slight problem. Okay, that problem's fixed. Perfect. Now let's get the cable put back in here where it belongs. Put you like this. What I am going to do is actually going to notch out a piece of this inner plastic because of the coax. I don't want that to be pinched. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Give me a second. Okay, what I did was I notched out a small portion of this here. Let me go this way. Easier to see. You can see where the rib are. The rib is. Okay, I just took a section out so the coax doesn't get pinched. You don't want to go through all this trouble and find out you can't use the antenna. You waste all your time. All that wasted knowledge, right? Can't have that happen. So now we're going to go ahead and put this all back together and give it a test run. Now remember, the light has no effect on the unit here. Let me pull that back out. He's not the right screw. I mean, you can go crazy with it with so many ideas. I'm just trying to come up with the most simplified idea just to get it to work. And we'll see what the SWR looks like. You know, again, this is meant for VHF, UHF only. And if you want to get carried away and creative more, by all means, knock yourself out. Don't stop here with me. You know, do more. It's always a good thing. And when you learn something new here at the DX Radio Shop or anywhere on your own, it also reduces the risk of dementia because you're giving your brain more food for thought. Okay? Knowledge is very powerful when it comes to healthiness. You know, the best part about the hobby is always experimenting with new ideas. Like I said, I just got these lamps last night. They're pretty cool. I said, you know, what the heck? It serves a purpose for decoration. It's Christmas. Put them by the tree, light them up. Sit inside with my HT and talk. So jump on the repeater and say hello and do a little video onto it. And have a little fun with it, you know. Give someone else some ideas. Okay, so that's all put back together. Put this back where he belongs, just like this. Okay, that's where he goes. Everything's looking great. So let's do kind of a quick overview, if we could, right? Right here's your BNC bulk connector. The line comes up, coaxial cable through the handle, out here to my BNC bulk, or my BNC connector. That's not a bolt connector because I've got it soldered to one side. Lots of room to put the cable up on the inside. We're not using RG8 because it's a little bit too heavy to work with, and this works out better anyway. So you're not putting a lot of power. You're not putting hundreds of watts into it. You know, this can be rated up to like 35, 40 watts with no problem. You don't even need that. Just run a 4 watt or 10 watt mobile into it and talk. You'll be perfectly fine. It's not going to heat. It's not going to have any problems. Keep it simple, you know. This is something like a conversational piece that someone's always going to be talking about. Like, can you believe what that guy just did over in New York? Look at what he just did, man. I can't believe this. Where did he come up with these ideas? You know, it's fun. It's just all fun stuff, guys. Like I said, you know, have an enjoyment out of it. Make it a family obligation to sit down and do stuff together. That's what it's all about. Now, we don't have to put the housing on to give it a test. We're going to give it a test right now. I kind of want to see where we stand as far as SWR goes. I'm really curious with that. So give me one moment. I got to think about what I want to do here. All right. Curious. I mean, it's a great idea, but now we got to see if they can perfect it. Put it to good use.
If you wanted to use this outdoors, you could fill a couple of gallons Ziploc bags with sand and place them inside before you reassemble it to hold it in place so the wind doesn't take it.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Or get some freezer bags. I would put the sand inside of like a freezer bag. I'd go that route so it's not making it messy inside.
lifting weights, steel lifting weights, like a 20-pounder or whatever. And then put
I
the
see.
silicone all the way around it and set that in and let it bind to the plastic. Would work. You will access the batteries though at the bottom.
Yeah, I should have never. Okay.
Well, you could make a waterproof battery box external and just wire it in. Absolutely.
See, these guys are always coming up with ideas on the Zello channel. I love that.
And I would put a solar panel on it to charge the batteries. We'll put a DC adapter on them. Is an Antron 99. And I would market it as a drone detector. Likely you're gonna put a cup holder on yours. Yeah, and a place to mount my cell phone.
You know what's nice about these? You leave them up all year round if you want to play with it. It's decoration anyway, you know what I mean? So, okay, so this is going to go here. Oops, jeez. Not going to get apart. Put that back. Put you here. I had to change out the connector because I kind of damaged my connector. So we got to do it like this. Yeah.
If you put it outside, you could mount a DX Radio Shop tumbler on it as a trip can when people walk by.
All right. I'm going to have to enclose this just so I keep this all kind of in position because it looks like it wants to fall on me. So we're going to have to do exactly that. So give me a second to kind of put it kind of like this, we'll say. And let's see what we got. Okay, now. Let's get this fully extended first. See what that does. Okay, now I'm going to drop it down just a little bit. A little bit more. Try to tune it in a little bit. Okay. So we need a little bit more to work with. Okay, so we gotta find a different antenna. Give me a moment. Okay. Just playing around different antennas at the moment, kind of see if we can find something that's quick and simple. Okay.
We just lost the internet.
Oh, Rick lost his internet. Uh-oh. Terrible situation, isn't it? Let's see, I'm gonna have... Is this one I want? Yeah. And all kinds of telescopic whip antennas, and 2 meter, 440, and I'm just trying to find the right one that's going to fit the application.
Throw in the Goya 320 tri-band antenna on there.
What is that? Looks like down here, let's go 19/4 inch, see what happens.
Hey Rick, that's the HOA guy on the golf cart stopping you from getting any ideas.
I'm going to go from here to, come on you, stay.
Unless you're monitoring what you're watching on YouTube.
It's not bad. I got a 1.7 SWR, so it's not bad. Let's kind of put this here for a moment. And let's see. Get it all back. Oops, sorry. Get it all back together. Let's take a look and see if we can. Give her a test run.
Yes, the ground could be better to get away from the bench.
I'm going to put it outdoors and check it in a moment. Back in here, make sure this is tight.
I can mount it on a flagpole antenna.
Wait a hardest thing is putting plastic items back together. They never want to go back together. If they say all back together, we should be good to go. We'll put it outdoors, give her a try, and see if it hits her feeder. In fact, I'm trying even indoors here too. If I can. So put the base here. Doesn't seem to want to cooperate. Why? Okay, that's good. There's your problem. Is it because you gotta go down deeper? Maybe it's gotta go inside here more? Okay, yep. So we gotta go like that. Let's see what we can do. Just like this. Here we go. Now we gotcha. The other side. This side. Now it's problem. Wires are going together. Well, they come apart easy, but going back together is a pain. That is for sure. What's going on down here?
Still needs a little antenna loop there, Rick.
I guess. Okay. Alright, so look at this. Look at that. He goes in here.
I know, I hate that. Every time it puts plastic stuff back together, it's a pain in the butt.
I see what the problem is. I just don't know how the hell they got twisted. There we go. That's how. Okay. There's a groove on the inside. The bottom plate has to line up as a locator. That's where the problem was. Okay, so now he's put back together. Alright, let's screw it all back together now and see what we can do. Oops, I think what I did. And there you have it. On to the other side. They only have a million screws here. I'm going to try it inside the shop, and then I'm going to go outside and try it as well. And we have a repeater. It's about 58 miles away. 55, 58, somewhere in there. So we're going to try and use that as our experiment test repeater, if you will. Yeah, that one went on for some reason. It's so bulky to work on.
I'll get my bullfang ready, see if I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you hear me down in Florida from New York there, buddy. Okay, very good. This side's good too. Make sure all the screws are tight, which they should be. All right, very good. Okay, what we're going to use for an antenna is an MFJ 1714 telescopic whip antenna. That's what we're going to use. Put this back where he belongs. Let's get our bulb put back on where he belongs. And we'll show you the overall. And like I said, I wanted to do just a wire on the inside, but that's okay. Let me put this down on the floor for a minute to get the bulb screwed back in place. Alright, here we go. Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's see how we did.
I'm gonna make the light bulb go brighter when you heat up.
Well, let me see if I get a bow thing here. Give me a second. Because the real test is with an HT, not a 10 watt radio on a 4 watt radio. I take my antenna off my HT. That's the HT we're going to use. Right here is a Baofeng 4 watt walkie-talkie. Okay, we're going to use him. I just need to get an adapter. Okay, I need. Let's see, it should be a pigtail. I think I have one. So what we're going to utilize here is a couple of cables. We got one right here. These are stress relief cables. So it's SO239 SMA. The reason for this is because you don't want to put an adapter right here at your unit because you'll damage the jack. So this is a stress relief to where you don't have to do that. You just throw this in place. Then you got a stress relief. And then you plug your coax cable into this. Now let's see if we can hit the repeater. If you guys want to look this up, it's called the Bristol Repeater, which is south of Rochester, New York. I'm in Clyde. Well, Rochester's 42 miles just to get to Rochester. Okay? Now, where the repeater is, it is about 55, 58 miles, roughly, somewhere in there. Well, let's give it a go. Let me go to, let's see. Someone's on there now. Well, it's definitely receiving.
With the, well, the stepper motor is required. Again, most people use the, the board, integrated circuits, stuff like that anyway. It was doing some air pulling, not being able to get things working, and they found that the problem was, a lot of people put information on the internet, and it's hard to sort out who's credible and who isn't. And it doesn't mean that they mean to be harmful, but some people publish stuff. And again, I was following a formula and some guidance on setting the current limiting on the driver, because that's a key part of it. And they neglected to share that. It was a granddaughter. There's a fear mechanism. Being able to predict, by knowing the size of the gear or the number of teeth.
How's that, guys? Pretty wild.
Into that chain to happen. And that's all I wanted to do, no more than that. But go ahead, give it a pause, though. There's going to be more to it. So,
Is there generally people talking on these GMIs?
I called him, asked me, because after Ken was done, I get fixed. He was doing it fixing it yet. So he goes, why do you want to spend so much money on an HF radio? Because I was talking about, I want to get the 710 or DX10, so I'm not sure which one yet, but I'll see. But something like that. I was thinking about the 480, but I'll see. But alright, what else? Oh yeah, I was doing something online, so Claude's trying to join. I was Bruce in that, and I was trying to join a group or do something, and something on the administrator says that I wasn't in the database. I'm like, what? I can understand that, so I left that. So. Alright, that's about it, guys. Have a good day. Rain today. Get my ship. The Allen Group with WV2, UBQ, and KWBD. Hey guys, on your bound. Okay, Rick, good morning, Ed. Have a good day, Rick. Good morning, Ed.
Now, this is KC2KJO. Anybody copy this station right quickly? Very good. Well, if you guys want, you can go to a YouTube channel and check out DX Radio Shop. You're not going to believe what I did this morning. It's live streaming right now if you guys want to check it out. I'm on a Baofeng 4-watt walkie-talkie HT with a 3-foot tall Christmas lamp ornament, floor ornament, converted now to a VHF UHF antenna novelty piece.
Thanks, guys. I guess you heard me chime in there.
Long Range Project sounds fun. And this morning our power went off at 3:30 in the morning, so I pulled my 100 amp hour light bulb out and my 2200 VA pure sine wave and hooked it up and brewed a pot of coffee. Never had an idea how much current that would take just to brew a pot of coffee, but everything was good. The power's back on, so back to you guys.
So what do you guys think? Pretty cool? So we have a...
Very good. Good morning, Ed. In the other station there, I didn't quite follow what he was up to. Yeah, I very rarely watch YouTube. I stay away from it. Too many other distractions. and there's a lot of junk out there on QRZ.com.
Very nice.
There are probably once a week somebody brings up something about end-fed half-wave antennas and the 1-to-49 transformers. And it goes for about, I don't get into them anymore, they go to about sometimes 50 to 100 people jump in, or 50 to 100 responses anyway. So I'm sticking to my books, staying away from anything. I don't know who else. I guess it's you, Steve. WQ.
yeah, no, this is Stu here, KC2KJO over here in Clyde, about 42 miles east of Rochester. And yeah, Steve, a lot of guys know those guys, they know who I am. But no, I took a 3-foot tall, it's a floor model Christmas lamp bulb. You buy it at Home Depot for like $25. And I converted it into a indoor stealthy VHF, UHF antenna system where it still uses the bulb the way it's designed. And I just kind of converted that into a little indoor portable use, if you will. So now I'm on my Baofeng 4YHT into this unit and just kind of testing out live stream here at the moment on my channel. But I want to see how she's working. It's got a little telescopic whip antenna where the handle is. I've also made the indoor lamp J-pole antennas. Did about 327 of those there a while ago. But just kind of playing around with some Christmas ideas and novelty pieces and fun for the hobby. Catch you all later, KC2KJO.
Juliet, Oscar, recognized her voice, but there is a little bit of noise. I mean, it's doing a good job, but didn't realize it was you, so sorry about that. Anyway,
So let me turn that off. So anyways, yeah, so here you have it, guys. Now, I just proved to you, you can take a decorative, piece and work on some stuff, and that's exactly what we did. We took a decorative indoor 3-foot tall big Christmas bulb lamp and decided to play a little bit and utilize the fun with it. So I don't know about you, I had a blast. So the telescopic whip is on the other side here, as you can see, going up along the handle. You can see where that is. Okay, so let me kind of maybe go this route, if you will. There you go. Okay. So you can kind of see that going up and down. And so she's working out quite nicely, as you can see exactly right here, going up and down. If you want to change that, you can change it to anything you wish. If you want to put a different type of antenna into it, you can, but I don't know how well it's going to calibrate SWR wise. This right here is running between a 1.6.5 to a 1.7. So that's not bad considering for VHF, UHF. It actually came out quite nicely. I was hoping for a little bit better, but to get that done, I'd have to change a few things to really make it drop. But it's okay. It's still safe to talk on. A 4-watt HT is not going to hurt nothing. So you got yourself a telescopic whip. 19 1/4 inch tall, and I'm able to use that for a BNC attachment, and use this for the VHF UHF type system for sure, no doubt. Jan, how are you? What do you think? Always a fun time here at the DNS Radio Shop. You never know what you need. That's right. You never know what you're going to fall into. Never know what we're going to be doing over here. It's always a fun time for sure. We're actually taking our little, I shouldn't say little, they're quite tall, our tumbler metal cups. We're going to convert those into an indoor VHF, UHF telescopic antenna as well on the go. So we're in the process of just making novelty pieces right now. Just kind of having fun with the hobby. That's all it is, just a hobby, you know, have fun with it. And here, that's exactly what we do. When we're not busy working on radios, which I should be doing right now, and I will be here shortly, but I wanted to play with this. I just bought this last night, or yesterday afternoon, and I kind of wanted to play a little bit, see where it would go. And I knew it would work out great because the housing is more important to me than the rest. I just need the space inside to make it happen. So I can utilize this for both VHF and UHF.
Hey, Stu, does the wire have to be 19 1/4 inches as well?
No, the wire was just an attachment on the inside. If you want to make that 19 1/4 inches, then you don't need a telescopic whip antenna. The wire on the inside would have been just for what we could call stealthy. So if you don't want to have a BNC on top at all, then you can just run a wire up through, glue it down, and non-corrosive glue, non-conductive glue rather, and then you can run 19 1/4 inch wire on the inside and not have any BNC attachment on the outside where I have my telescopic whip antenna into it. So you can eliminate the whip and just put a wire up inside 19 1/4 inches and call it a day. It'll do exactly the same thing. I went with the whip because I wanted to have a little bit more outdoorish with it, kind of see where it's going to go and make it more of a creativity. When you look at it, it's like, oh wow, that's something different. What's on it? You know, that draws the people in to kind of make conversation, ask questions, then you kind of give them the idea what you did. Had I gone the other way like I wanted to, just the wire on the inside, it would have been more stealthy. Everyone would have laughed at me like, oh, I don't know, I don't see it, you know. But this one here, you at least see it with the coax going in and the whip coming out. But no, you don't need the wire to be that if you're going to run a whip.
Hey, Stu, would a counterpoise make this work even better?
Yes, if you want to put a counterpoise, you can do that. Counterpoise will always help to an extent. However, depending on the applications, that may vary. So, for example, I have a 17-foot tall telescopic whip antenna I use for my HF band. If it's fully extended, it's already rested for 20 meters. The ground radios, any kind of counterpoise, does nothing for it. A lot of guys say you got to have that on there; it's going to help. It does nothing for it. In fact, I've experimented between 1 up to 35 wires, different lengths and radiuses and diameters and dimensions, and the only thing it did was increase more radio noise on my end, and the SWR was not controllable. When I eliminated all of the counterpoise and just ran just the telescopic whip antenna with a mirror mount bracket and a stake in the ground, run my coax from there 25 feet away, I had a flat match. So that worked out a lot better. So it depends on the applications where counterpoise will work based on the application, or may not do anything, but it's definitely worth trying and see where it will improve or not improve. So there you have it, guys. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Isn't that kind of cool? Now, if I went outside, it wouldn't be as choppy or staticky on the HT. The only reason why it's doing that because I have all this stuff inside here, raising the interference level, right? So, and what we're using here again is the Baofeng. Let me get this out of the way. We're using a Baofeng HT plugged into this unit, and the antenna that I'm using is an MFJ 1714 telescopic whip, 2 meter long ranger antenna with an SMA type connector. So that's what we were using for the antenna onto the Christmas bulb. So what did everybody think about this? Put your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to know. And I think it's a wonderful idea. I think it's a fun time. I think we had a great morning to kind of kick off the day. Play a little bit with something totally different, but still related to the hobby. And I think this will be an opportunity to show people, hey, experiment, play a little bit, have a little fun. And now, let me also say, if I did not use the miniature coaxial cable with the shield, and if I just want to run 2 separate wires, could I do that? Yes. Would it work? Yes. Would the SWR be with where I want it? No. So I went with the shielded coax because I needed to make sure this is going to do what I wanted it to do. I really needed to make sure that it was going to be controlled. Any RF going back and forth would be controlled. I didn't want reflected coming back to the radio, down the coaxial radio. So that's why I use the shielded coax. Now, could I change that out with an RG8X? Absolutely. What would that do for me? Well, if I changed out an RG8X, that probably would drop it down significantly. I bet you I'd probably drop it down to like a 1.3, 1.4, opposed to 1.6.5 to 1.7. So that would make a big difference. Because remember, every coax has a velocity factor. Okay, so for this reason, the RG8X probably would have been a better choice. I went with what I had because I wanted to use a smaller coaxial cable because I can make that more adjustable where I want it inside the handle, and it fit perfectly fine with a lot of room. I didn't have to worry about it being pinched. I didn't have to worry about it being too thick. Otherwise, there's multiple ribs down the handle. I would have had to clip out sections other than just the one spot where the connector was. So fun, that is for sure. I mean, you don't have to put it where I did. You can put it at the bottom of the handle with a 90-degree elbow and come up the side that way if you wish. All kinds of things you can do with it, really. If you have an outdoor antenna and you want to plug it just kind of a feed point and through a bolt connector, you can set it up that way if you wanted. But I set this up with a telescopic whip antenna because I wanted to make it more creative. I wanted to be user-friendly, and I wanted to be still have the decoration that it was meant to be used for, where I could put it on the floor and have a good time, sit by my big old bay window with an HT and a couple feet of coax and still talk to the guys 58, 60 miles away. How about that? Okay? It's a win-win. So now you guys see this from the get-go to the end with the finished product, and it came out beautiful. Now, if I really want to get that SWR down just a little bit more, I would have to adjust the telescopic whip. I mean, we're talking like, oh my God, like 30 seconds of an inch, because it's very close. So maybe a 16th of an inch. I could probably play with it a little bit better and really fine-tune it. But 1.7, I'm not going to cry over that. 1.6.5 to 1.7, I'm not going to cry over, because that to me is still safe. It's still good. I can play a little bit more to get it where I wanted it to be. But I'm happy. It worked. My test came out great. It was 100% success all the way around. And I made it to the Bristol repeater, which is south of Rochester. So it's all of it good. Like I said, 55, 58, maybe 60 miles from me, somewhere in there. So, and this is indoors with my shop, which means I have all these lights, all my electrical stuff inside here that are creating interference. And I still had good receive. I still came into the repeater. A little bit of noise. That's okay, though, because, again, we're only using 4 watts, and we are inside of a structure with a lot of items that could be a problem, right? So, had I put that outdoors, I'd have came in full quality, no doubt. And I know that for a fact because I can use just my rubber duck antenna right here off this bow thing, and I come in full quality all the time on that repeater. So if I can do this with just a little short stub antenna, well, I know I'm going to do just as good with the other one because now it's telescopic, it's taller, and this is only going to be like what 4 inch? Yeah, so 4.5 inch coil antenna inside, opposed to a 19.25 inch whip antenna with a 3-foot, stand. So, but yeah, cool beans, guys. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with everybody, and it's perfect. So John's asking the same thing that Michael said. Does that, or Kevin? I think it was Kevin. I think Michael asked me that. Does the wire have to be 19.25 inches? No. I just needed to put it from point A to point B where I wanted to put my connectors. Now I could have made that a lot shorter and gone with it as well. So, Boxcar. This is the Bristol repeater. Bristol repeater, which is south of Rochester. So it's up on Gannett Hill. Anyway, John, so yes, the if you wanted to put a 19.25 inch wire inside, you could do that. You don't need to have the BNC with a telescopic whip antenna, because now the wire inside is your antenna. And keep in mind, VHF obviously is 19.25 inches, right? That's your quarter wave. However, it's also a 5/8 wave for UHF, which is 6 3/8 or 5/8, something like that. I gotta go back and check my calculations. But a 19.25 inch antenna for VHF will work perfectly fine, and the match is pretty flat for the UHF side as well. So you don't need two whip antennas per se. You don't need to have multiple things for two different bands. You can use the same exact antenna for both bands. That's what's nice about the UHF and VHF. They kind of work hand in hand very smoothly when you set up the calculations correctly. So on that note, I'm going to get on off here because I got a lot of work to do, and I had enough fun playing with this. It was a great time, but I really do got to get back to work, ladies and gentlemen. I have a lot of radios to repair, as we all know, because we are a professional radio repair shop. But sometimes you got to take a break and have a little bit of fun along the way too. And that's exactly what we did. So I'll put that back in here. I'll put him back on this. I'll put that back over on the shelf where it belongs. I'll put him away. Anybody got any questions at all? You guys got some pretty good questions so far. Anybody else got any other information they want to share or ask, or who else we got on here? Oh, Mr. Baldy, how are you? Good to see you on. Welcome to the channel again. Yeah, you can do it that way. I mean, back in high school, I took 3 house lamps, and I took and had them flash to my voice. I had it work with a CB radio. I did a lot of fun stuff way back then in the day. I took 3 house lights and I made them flash to the low, medium, and high to a stereo, the audio signal of a stereo. Because you got to remember, our voices are AC voltage. What do you think a house lamp is? AC voltage. So you can utilize that as a visual to your, like an audio level, if you will, right? So you can utilize that. So let's say someone's deaf, but they can see. Well, if you can see, then you can see the light flash to your voice as you speak, even though you can't hear yourself, right? So it works out great for that. As a visibility type level, audio level, you can utilize house lamps to do the same thing. And I've made those in the past. I've also made ones for the CB. I've made it DC step up to AC, and I've made one for DC and DC as well for the portable use in vehicles. So, okay, again, that was fun. Let me put all my stuff away, get my day started here. I got a lot of work to do. I don't really have time to keep doing projects like this, but it was a fun blast. Ground plane, could you use a ground plane? Yes, you could. Absolutely, you can use a ground plane for that as well if you wish. You don't have to, but you can. Whatever you want to do, the sky's the limit. So, last thing I gotta do is put this cover back on so the batteries don't fall out. Anybody else got any other questions? before we move on for the day. Class starts at 9. That's funny. Here.
TJ, go ahead. What's your question?
Glenfoot says 912. Okay, well that was fun. Now we gotta move on. We got things to do. Got lots of stuff to do's. Can you tune CB antenna without a meter? Well, yes and no. Yes, to a certain point. You listen for the sound as the loudest you can get an antenna tuned in. So as you tune it, if the volume of your receive audio gets louder, your signal gets louder, you're getting pretty close to a resonant frequency. But to do it correctly, you really need a meter to make sure you can identify, yes, it is tuned. I would not rely on just tuning it. I would rather rely on seeing it with a good SWR meter or an antenna analyzer. So that's kind of a quick answer as to yes and no for those reasons. Now, if you're on ham, for example, and you wanted to tune in, let's say you had a tuner, for example, or you're going to try to tune your antenna. If you know the cut frequency, we'll say, for example, so let's back up for a moment. Let's say you have a CB antenna, is cut to a frequency, and it's already been pre-tuned, then okay, whatever, you ain't going to worry about it. But if you're trying to make one and tune it yourself, and you don't have a meter, you're really going to want a meter, because you want to make sure you're safe. The last thing you want to do is go through all that trouble and figuring out all your calculations, and then turn around and blow your finals in your radio. That's the last thing you want to do. So yeah, you definitely want to get some kind of SWR meter or a antenna analyzer for sure. So yep. But okay, guys. Well, anyways, like I said, it's been a blast. Really has been a fun time. More than a blast, because it was a successful project, and I want to do something different for once, and now I'm ready to go back to work and fix radio. So, but sometimes you got to kind of walk away, do something different, refreshing your mind a little bit, and then you go back and have fun. So, everyone, take care. I'll be back shortly with another video here at the DS Radio Shop. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, and we'll see you soon.